Okay, so to get started, we're going to talk about Pythagorean theorem word problems and how to set up the problem. So the question says, to get from point A to point B, so here's point A to point B, you must avoid walking through the pond. To avoid the pond, you must walk 34 meters south, and 41 meters east, 41 meters east. To the nearest meter, how many meters would be saved if it were possible to walk through the pond? So, what we're looking for, this question mark, is C, because here's my right angle. Across from it is my missing side, my diagonal. So, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So, I'm going to say A is 34, B is 41. 34 squared plus 41 squared equals C squared. 34 times 34 is 1156. 41 times 41 is 1681. I put these together. I get 2837. And if you remember correctly from yesterday, my last step, I need the calculator. I got a square root. If you forgot, it's second x squared is how you find that button. And it says nearest meter. So you're going to get a decimal, but we're going to round it to 53 meters. We know that's right because it's bigger than the other two sides. Okay, number 2, the baseball diamond. So before I even read anything else, I'm going to draw myself a little baseball diamond. Home plate, first base, second base, third base. Good enough. Baseball diamond with sides of 90 feet. So 90, 90, 90, and 90. Okay? The shortest distance from first base to third base. So here's my 90-degree angle. And once again, we're finding the hypotenuse. So when I do A squared plus B squared equals C squared, I'm looking for C. So A and B are both 90 this time. Okay, 90 squared is 8100 plus 8100 equals C squared. Combine those, I get 16,200. Final step, square root. Round to the nearest tenth. We're going to get 127.3, and we're talking about feet. Okay. And we know that's right because it's bigger than the other two. Okay, a suitcase measures 24 inches long. So 24 inches long and 18 inches high. Okay. What is the diagonal length? So once again, they're asking us to find the hypotenuse. C squared is what we're looking for. 18 squared plus 24 squared equals C squared. 18 squared is 324. 24 squared is 576. Combine them. We get 900. And square root. C equals 30. We know it's right because it's bigger than the other two. Okay, moving on to the next page. All right, in a computer catalog, a computer monitor is listed as being 19 inches. This distance is the diagonal. So for once, they gave us the hypotenuse, the diagonal of the TV screen. Computer screen, sorry. If the screen measures 10 inches in height, so this is 10. That's ugly. Let's start over. Sorry. Okay. 19 is my diagonal. 10 is my height. They're asking me what's the width, so I don't know the bottom. You can call that A or you can call that B. I'm going to call it A. So here's my right angle. 19 is my biggest number. So this is A squared plus 10 squared equals 19 squared. A squared plus 100 equals 19 times 19 is 361. Okay, because we're missing C, this is where we have to move the 100 over. Minus 100. A squared equals 261. And last step, square root. Nearest inch. Pay attention to the directions. So it's a decimal, but we're going to round it to 16. How do I know it's right? Because it's less than my hypotenuse. Okay, the floppy disk. 5 1/4 inches on each side. So in other words, it's 5.25, right? 25 cents is a quarter. So it's a square, and it's asking me for the length of diagonal. You should know diagonal is what? Letter C. So 5.25 squared plus 5.25 squared equals C squared. I'm going to let you finish this one. Okay, number 6. Mrs. Spires tells you that a right triangle has a hypotenuse of 13. Okay, right triangle has a hypotenuse of 13. That means the diagonal. And a leg of 5. She asks you to find the other leg. So this for sure is C. It's across from the right angle. It's my diagonal. So let's call this B, and let's look for A. I want you to finish this question. Okay, last one. 2 joggers run 8 miles north. 8 straight line. 8 miles north. And then 5 miles west. What is the shortest distance to the nearest tenth of a mile? So they're asking you to find the diagonal. Finish the question.